All right, so this time I've taken the H3PO4 and I've already poured some in this container because again, remember, don't put glassware in your stock solution, just don't ever do it. And so now I've got this pipette. You can actually see that this has a little bit of water on here. So this is a really great example of why you want to rinse out a pipette before you use it. So I'm going to put the tip in here and I'm just going to get a little bit on here, not a lot, just a wee bit. Don't need a lot. And see, I'm just going to take that same amount, just coating the whole thing. So that's my waste container. And again, I'm just coating it with this acid, which is fantastic because now I won't accidentally have a slightly diluted amount. And then I'm just going to pipe it, again, 10. Last time it was 20, this time it's 10. So in all of these flasks are going to be 10 milliliters, that's the volume of this acid. I will be adding water to it, but the water is just to help us see the reaction. The water is not removing the amount of this. The amount of this in there is still going to be 10 milliliters of this guy. It's just going to also have water in it. All right, so take this, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to fill it up with the 10. Nice. Okay, we're going to put this in here. And I'm going to do that with all 3 flasks. Okay, so we've already filled this up again with our sodium hydroxide. So if you look now, here's our new starting point for the sodium hydroxide, right up here. And I'm going to do the same reaction. Now all 3 of these flasks have been filled with, again, 10 milliliters of phosphoric acid. They all have 2 drops of phenolphthalein each. Please keep in mind, the sodium hydroxide has 1 OH group, and this acid has 3 H's that it's going to have to react with. So that's a big hint on this lab. So I'm going to be doing this reaction. I'm going to do it the other way where I'm swirling, make sure that you guys can see. Okay, so I'm pretty close there. In fact, I'm trying to decide if it is slightly pink at the moment. I'm going to put this next to it as a comparison. Maybe. Let me do one more drop in. Because some people's eyes actually do see color better, so some of you might be seeing this. I'm going to do one drop. Come on. There we go. Does that look nice? See how nice of a light pink that is compared to these ones? Yep. Nice light pink. So we're going to get that measurement. Put this one out of the way. Now, that only took me, 10-ish mils. So I actually am probably going to have enough in my Buret to do all 3 of these flasks. It was the amount that we ended with, but it's also going to be the amount you're going to be using for what we're starting with on this next one. There. Yep, that looks slightly pink. That's faintest of faint. And notice that I can swirl it and it's not going away. All right, so we'll get this reading. And again, this is also going to be our starting point for our next one. All right. Get 30 first. Stop it there. Okay. Voila. Slab's fun. You feel like a magician. And it's not an optical illusion. Around. Yep. Definitely hit it. Maybe just a touch past there, but we're going to count that as good for this reading. I always tell people to sit down when they're doing titrations because it helps you feel more patient. One thing I wanted to just note is that we're using acids and bases. They react with each other, but it's okay to put them down the drain with a lot of water. If you were to put a concentrated acid down a drain with no water, you can cause corrosion in the pipes, and it's a bad idea. Lots of water, and it's okay. So you'll notice over here, this was my stock solution of NaOH. I'm not, like if I had other labs coming in, I would save this and use it in the next lab. Because you don't want to waste chemicals, but in this setting where I'm not going to do another round of it, and I just had a lot that I poured in here, then I need to make sure I put this down the drain with a lot of water. I'm not going to add acid to it because it's a good bit of base in here. So turn on my water, and I'm just pouring it out down the drain, and I'm rinsing my beaker out a few times. Usually 3, that's the magic number in chemistry when you're rinsing or clearing things out. Now, that's my base. I'm going to actually just make sure I'm done dealing with my base for a minute. So, again, my funnel, I'm going to rinse this out. And then I'm going to put these away in the drawer. Our H3PO4 and our hydrochloric acid. I'm setting these over here because obviously I'm not cleaning those. Those are my stock solutions. But everything else I should have, short of my waste, should be acid. So, alright. So these containers, I put down the drain again with water. It's okay if you want to put all the acids in the same container and rinse that down, that's fine. Just make sure you also are cleaning the beakers that have the acid in them. Again, I'm doing 3 rinses. I'm making sure all the surfaces are cleared. I'm going to take all these Erlenmeyers again. They all had the same acid in them, so just for transport to make it easier, I'm combining them. You don't have to do it this way. You can pour them all out separately. Now, don't overfill. I'm going to take my flasks over here. I'm going to rinse out all my flasks. Notice I didn't take my gloves off. These are acids and bases. You can rinse them off with your gloves on, it's fine. A little tiny drop of something like this on my wrist could hurt just a tiny bit. So I'm just being extra cautious. So now put these away.